Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I would love to share with you a trade I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take $1,000 to $100,000 as fast as possible as a rookie, relatively new day trader. We just moved over from WeBull to TOS this morning. I was happy to wake up and see that we had about $2,000 of buying power, which was initially transferred over last week. Next week we'll have a total of $5,000 of buying power, plus or minus what happens, up until that point, and then we're going to kind of hit the ground running. But we'll go over the data. We started this thing in December. We'll catch everyone up on the data where we're at. But this is the first day back on TOS since we swapped over from WeBull a couple months ago, and there are some things I like, and we'll kind of see how it went today. The first thing I want to show you guys is the scanner setup that we had today. Scanners have been a pretty big topic of this channel, and I just did a video yesterday on some scanners, and so today I actually set this up in a way that I could kind of use all three. And so I'll just go over those real quick. The setting I was using for Momo Screener, which is this scanner right here, I'll pop it open. So today you'll see in here, it's a little bit different than yesterday. I put it at 80 cents to a maximum of $5. I put the float at 20 million, and we'll save that. And then I also, on the sliders, can you guys see that? Yeah, on the sliders over here on the daytradingstrategies.net scanner, I did the same thing. I put $5, which is right here, this section, $5, and then just noticing all these cables over here. We're going to get this thing tightened up, buttoned up a little bit. $5 and then 20 million float. I'm going to remove my camera for a second so you can see what's underneath this for anyone who hasn't seen it. It's kind of a cool little widget there that has the most recent high and tells you the percentage gain in 2 minutes, and also a volatility thing right there. So anyway, that's two of the scanners I like to use, and then the scanner here on the right hand side is the one from Daytrade Dash Warrior Trading, and that's been a wonderful scanner as well. So I just used a combination of all of these scanners today, and in many cases the scanner here, this Momo Screener scanner, picks up things a little bit earlier than anything else, because I think that it's set to pick up things instead of 5% or 10% in a certain amount of time. I think it's 3% or 2%. I can't remember, but it does pick things up a little bit earlier. So a good example is some of the stocks I was looking at today. It would I'd hear the alert, I'd pull it up, wait a little bit, and then it'd start to kind of take off. So let's go over the stocks that came across the screen today. We've been in a market that's been pretty bearish, and it's been tough to find stocks and for this style of trading. And when we do find them, there's big spoof sellers on the ass or kind of trying to push it down. There's a lot for us to have to work with here. And the typical scenario where you'd maybe do 1 minute candle pullbacks off a red candle, sometimes those things aren't really working all the time. And so then do you get in early? when are we supposed to get in early as new traders learning how to trade in a bear market, right? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And so the first ticker that came across my screen today was LCUT, and I just had a really hard time finding an entry. So what I was looking for was something that is, I picked a couple things today. First off, I keep fumbling that. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can get it out of the light, but this is a chart example that I was using as something I was looking for today, where you'd have a nice little run up on these. My finger is either bleeding or I think it's a marker for my kids, where I'm trying to get this to kind of run up and then have a red candle pullback, and then you have this wonderful little run up right here, and that's be your entry point right there. So visually, I'm kind of looking for this. I decided today I was not going to enter in on a stock unless I saw a red candle pullback, and then a candle, 1 minute candle close red, and then a green candle make a new high. That was it. I'm not doing it unless I see it. So that's what I was looking for today. So this is the first. This is the first one that hit the screen today, and as you can see, it pumps up right here, and then these are 1 minute charts, and then it kind of falls down, and we've got all the sell volume, and then the buy volume here on the way up wasn't that much bigger than all this sell volume. So I wasn't really interested in this stock. But the reality is there was a candle that made a new high right here. at like 360. So, I mean, you could have definitely got in here, and some people certainly made some money. But I just didn't like that this was, at this point had dipped so far down. And then I have to decide if I'm wanting to see it, it challenge the VWAP. And I just didn't like this stock. And so I tried to find an entry. By the time I had pretty much decided at this point that I wasn't going to enter, and I moved on to another stock. And then I saw someone in Discord who made some money on it, and I think they rallied when it came up right in here. And by that point, I'd already kind of taken my eyes off and decided that I wasn't going to take an entry. And I don't really know. It just wasn't my favorite stock this morning. And so I didn't make an entry here, which is unfortunate because later on in the move, I think there would have been an opportunity. But in the beginning, I'm trying to be the front side of the move, the first couple legs up, and it just wasn't there, and that's what I was looking for. The next one that came up was what was it? Oh, SPRC. Now this one is interesting. I really liked this stock today because this is the 1 minute chart. Yeah, because so this went off on the scanner at about 5 a.m. West Coast time. Hits the scanner, has this nice little pullback right here, and there's no volume. There's just very little. And if I showed the 10-second chart, I don't need to. I won't show it. But there's just this is all happening off no volume, right? And right at 5 o'clock, which is I think right in this range, my kiddo wants me to lay with him. So you betcha, buddy. My child, my middle child, his name's Brooks. He's 4.5 years old, and they're only going to be little so long, And there's always going to be stocks and money to be made. Well, at least I'd like to think there is. And so laid down with him for 10 minutes, come back up, and the stock had done this. And so I look back and see would we have entered? And I'm gonna do a little video. I recorded these trades today. I'm gonna go over a couple things today. But so this is technically the first candle to make a new high, but there's no volume here. And then, but at this point, and I can show it to you guys in the video, right in this range, I think it was 460-ish or so. The spread starts to have a little activity. The tape starts to moving, and we'll go over that for anybody who's maybe new to trading and doesn't quite know what I mean. And I'm like, oh, that would have been a really sweet entry. That's probably where I would have tried to get in. And it shoots up $1 and then flushes back down, and there's our missed opportunity for the morning. And when I came back to sit down, I don't remember where it was. I want to say it was in kind of maybe this range. And I'm like, do I try to get back in? I don't want to be stuck on the backside of a move. And you can see the MACD comes back over, crosses over right here. And we're definitely on the backside of this. And I'm trying to trade on the front side of moves. And that's really unfortunate. This is kind of what I was looking for today. It's low float. It's 556, under $1 million float. The price is right in my range. I'm trying to stay under $5 until I really wanted to stay under $3 really. To be honest with you, I would have loved to have traded something where I could take 1,000 shares today. That was kind of my goal. I have $2,000 in the account, so anything $2 and under would have been wonderful. It's kind of hard to find that sometimes without going deep into the penny stocks. That's why I picked 80 cents. If you've been following along, you know that I don't like to trade penny stocks, but I thought if I could catch a penny stock that's about to break $1 and it fits my criteria of low float, breaking news, all the stuff, we would maybe make a go at it, right? And I'm not, at this point, I'm not trying to make 10 cents. That's kind of my target, 10 or 20 cents a share. But really, if I see it go over 5 cents and there's some kind of weakness there, I'm just going to get out and take my profit. So, and needless to say, this trade did not work out. So the next thing that popped up was, what was it? It was APTC. This is the one I think a lot of people traded today. Here was my issue with AP. Is it APTC? That's not the ticker. ATPC. There you go. The issue I had with this stock this morning is that I was being very specific about requiring a catalyst and not a continuation, not some news that happened yesterday or the day before or an oil stock that's been ripping for a week. I really, really wanted... here's the deal. I wanted something that was low float, so anything under 20 million, but I really wanted something under 10 million, and I certainly would have loved to have something under $1 million. I wanted some high relative volume, These are not a secret. This is the criteria that's put out by Ross Cameron over at Warrior Trader. I wanted some volume, which is pretty easy to see. It's like once it starts blinking on the scanner, it starts getting volume. So the float is the supply. That is the shares that are available to be traded on the market. Then the volume that comes in is kind of creates the demand. And the breaking news, the catalyst, is what I was looking for to kind of create that demand. And then I wanted a stock that was like under like $5. And there's one piece I'm missing. I forget what it is, but so I was looking for something very, very, very specific. And this, first off, I think the price was in the range actually. Let's see. Yeah, it was in range. When it started hitting the scanners like in the up in this area here. And I didn't trade it because I think there was no volume. So this is 10 second. Yeah, this is 10K volume right here. This is only 10,000 volume here, right? Like per 1 minute candle. There's no volume happening here. Just gapping up for nothing. And there's no news catalyst, right? Now here, so that's kind of where I'm looking at it in this range. And I'm like, I'm not going to trade that. And then here it starts to get a little bit of volume. So it crosses back over into the positive MACD, gets some volume in here, and there were definitely some people that took some trades up in this range. I didn't do it. And then it dips back down. Some candles here make a new high. I mean, this is a good example of something I probably should have traded. I watched it go by because it was in a price range that I didn't want to trade today. It was a little bit more expensive than what I wanted. I really wanted something in that $2 to $3 range. That's why I had my filters underneath $5. So I wasn't even seeing anything on two of my scanners that were above $5. And then at the time that this became tradable, in my opinion, it crossed that threshold. Now, if I could go back and do it again, I think I would have traded this because it meets 4 pillars. It just didn't have breaking news. There was continuation. If you go back and take a look at the 5-minute chart, I'll show you real quick because it's just really easy to do. On the 5-minute chart, you'll see, yeah, it bounces up right here, comes down, bounces up, comes down, bounce up, come down, bounce up, and here we are down again. And then you kind of have this line right here, and it just breaks through that. So it's an example of something that I should have traded. And you kind of look at the volume, the initial volume spike here, and then just kind of it's doing its thing through here, and then we've got this volume. I don't know why this stock took off this morning. I have no idea. But I just watched it go by because it was a little bit on my price range. Again, I think that if I could do it again, I would have traded this. And I don't know. We're about to have 5,000 in the account, and then that puts this in the range of being right around that range where I can still take 1,000 shares. But also, should I even be trading my max position size in a bear market? I just don't know. Like today, I was kind of like, after I was done with today, I'm like, I don't know if I'm making the right move here. I just kind of wanted to build a cushion going into next week for when the rest of that money clears. Anyway, so the next the stock I actually traded today was RBNE. And I am going to pull up a video of this as well. But, I mean, if you look at this, it doesn't look too bad right here, right? So, it's a 2 million float, 3 million float. And it had breaking news. We'll go over a couple things here before let's see. We're going to pull it up. And this will show you guys how much I lost on this today, unfortunately. RBNE. We took a loss on this today of $111. We took 800 shares, and this was really unfortunate. And it had news, but I don't really know. Like right here, it was like Robin entry raised 13 million, an average share price of 431. I don't actually know if that's great news. I mean, I just read it, and I think it is, and the stock is responding like it's pretty good news. So sure, let's take a look, right? And let's pull this 1 minute chart up. And this is kind of what I saw. And we'll go over why this maybe, looking back at my recorded video, I think maybe this is the first day back on thinkorswim, and I think I was reading some things in level 2 that just weren't grabbing my eye in a way that they should have. And so now looking back, I probably should not have taken this trade when I took it. But it did follow all the criteria. That's why I wanted to back up. So right here, it's hard to borrow. Right here, HTB. It was hard to borrow. and it was low float, which you can see on the chart here. It was also low float on the scanner, and the tape was moving green. I mean, I don't know, and it seemed to fit what I needed. Sure, it was a little bit lower price for a lot of traders, but for me, what I'm trying to do, I'm like, okay, we can get like 5 cents out of this with 800, 1,000 shares. Like we're looking pretty good. Anyway, I see this, right? I came in kind of looking at this section right here. Anyway, so this candle starts. This candle comes up. It pulls back right here. We're going to talk a little bit about this pullback. Now, technically speaking, that is a pullback that I could have entered in on, right? So this candle opens. It kind of comes down, and then I'll show you on the video. There's like some consolidation here, and all of a sudden you see a good size amount of shares on the ask, and they're getting gobbled up. People are buying them up right at the $2 mark, and I'm like, ooh, they're like, this is gonna pop. That's a sign that's gonna pop. They're actually buying the shares, and it's reducing, and I'll show that to you. So right there is a point where I thought I could get in here for a little pop over $2, but I was waiting for the 1 minute red candle pullback. So, and then the next candle to make a new high. I don't know. Should I went with my gut? Probably. But right now I feel good that I went in when I wanted to go in. I exited when I wanted to exit, and the stock fit the criteria I was looking for. But there's a few things within the trade that maybe I could have done a little bit differently. So anyway, it shoots up to like 220, and then we get this red candle pullback right here. And I think to myself, okay, well, we'll wait for the next candle to make a new high. This candle opens right here. It doesn't cross over this line, right? And then this candle opens. It comes down a little bit. I think it did. And then we'll look at a second. And then it crosses over the line. I think this is actually like 214. It shows 216 here, but I don't think it ever really reached that there. I got in at like 214 or 216. It was right when I wanted to get in. That's what oh gosh, I tell you what, that's what I loved about being on thinkorswim today versus WeBull. When I entered, at the moment I saw the price on the ask that I wanted to enter in on, I got in at that price right away. And when I exited, I got out exactly when I wanted to get out. It felt exact, and it was quick and snappy. And I'm like, okay, this is what I missed about thinkorswim versus WeBull. So I get in right here. It shows it went up to 220. The price of the stock maybe went up to 220, and we'll see this in the video here in a second for anyone who wants to hang around. But it never reached 220 on the ask or the bid. So the stock price might have reached that, but I didn't see it on the ask or the bid. Because I would have taken a profit there. I think I saw my max profit would have been like 17 cents or something like that. And beyond that point, I think I could have lost. The least amount was like $7 or something like that. So anyway, it comes back down, and at this point, I had already decided when I would leave this trade. I had defined my risk before I went in. So I was going in at like, I think it was 216 or 214. I can't remember, right around this range. And I said, I'm just going to 10 cents. So at 204, 205, and I had kind of gotten that off of, now that's might be a little mistake because like max loss would be the bottom of this candle right here, which is like down underneath $2. I don't remember where I got it. I have to take a look. But I had chosen that I wanted to get out kind of more on what I was seeing like in this range right here. So I picked 205 as my number. It actually comes down, tests 205. I almost got out. It runs right back up to 214. I thought about maybe getting out there for basically break even. Decided to hold on to it because so many times I have not respected my stop loss and the stock has run up, right? And so, I don't know. So I'm holding. I hold through this candle. This is the candle I was talking about here that jumped down, I think. Yeah. It came down to like 201 or something, but it just popped right back up. And I'm like, okay, we got something here, right? And then this candle kind of sits here, and then I see this candle of indecision. So we have this red candle here with lower volume than this green here. And then this candle actually turns green with more volume than the red, and it's a doji candle of indecision. I'm like, well, man, we might be going this way, right? Which is what I was hoping. So this thing opens as soon as I see it pop down and break. I was looking at the VWAP, and I was looking at the 200 EMA. I'm sorry, the 9 EMA to determine like when I was gonna get out at this point. And as soon as this candle came down and broke down underneath this range I had set, I hit the bid and got out for the loss of $111. Now, look, I am And we'll take a look at when these actual trades, actually happen. I think that's pretty much when they happened. So let's pull up the data, and then for those of you who just want to kind of hang out for that part and then see the data where we're at, and then if anyone wants to stick around and watch the video, I'll show you kind of what I was thinking on the trade, and also something that I missed in the level 2 compared to WeBull, which makes me think twice about maybe I should not have gotten the trade when I got it. Actually, I don't mind the entry, but I probably should have got out a little bit sooner. And then, gosh, maybe I should have went in on that. You'll see in the video. I think I should have maybe went in a little bit earlier, but we're learning, we're growing, and that's fine. So let's pull up the data. Here we are. We started this thing in December. We started with $1,000. We doubled it really fast when the market was hot. And I thought I was hot S. And but not really. I'm pretty humble. Like, I didn't really think that, but I'm just saying. And we added $1,200. We're like, all right, let's double this money again, right? And then February hits, and I take loss after loss after loss while I'm learning, not respecting stop losses, which is why I'm happy here. I respect my stop loss. We got a little bit under the stop loss, but the fact of the matter is I had determined the risk before I went in, and I got out when I wanted to get out, because what could have happened really quickly was another 15 cents. And like, oh man, we're losing a lot more money at that point, right? So, I mean, 10 cents right there is $80. I mean, it happens fast, right? So anyway, so we currently have $2,900 in the account. That's about to go up another $3,000. Anyway, there's going to be a total of about $5,000 in the account minus today, unfortunately, starting next week, and anything else I might lose or win, by that point. But we have made $720 so far. We've participated in 45 trade days for a win rate of 68%. And one of the things I was telling my wife today was, because it's been, look, this is not easy. And frankly, I'm getting a little tired of losing. And that's why today I'm looking for a very specific setup. And if I even get like 5 cents, I'm just going to get out of there and take a nice little profit. And I just didn't even hit that today, and so I don't know. That's the data. For anyone who was interested in what the trades were and the data, there you go. You can go on about your day. I appreciate your support up to this point. And those of you who want to hang around for the video, I think there's a good lesson to be learned here. And so we're just gonna go over that real quick. But this has been very hard. I'm a pretty positive person. Trust me, I'm not down about it at all. I might maybe give that vibe off right now, but I'm learning a ton. I am in the thick of it. I am researching. I'm trading a lot. Like I'm really learning and growing. And this is how I want to trade. It's just a matter of, finding those right opportunities and knowing when to get out, knowing what to see. And today I did not enter in because of FOMO. I took my time. I was very calm. My heart rate wasn't high. It was just like I was just calm, and okay, here we go. Red candle. Now we got red candle pullback. Now we had defined our risk. Let's make sure this gets over where we want to go. We'll get in here. We'll wait. We'll see, and then we'll manage it, and then we'll get out when we need to get out or take that profit. It was very calm, very collective. It actually felt pretty good. I was just disappointed that I took the loss, right? So let's try and pull up this video and see if we can get this to work for us today. I'll minimize these. And I've got the video ready to go. And let's see here. I'll show you guys on SRPC. I have this pulled up because this was the first one that I wanted to trade today. Let me move this over here real quick so I can quickly, yeah, there we go. The tools makes me happy. And then I think we just need to do this on the keyword. Yeah. Is it playing? There it goes. Cool. All right. So this is about the time where I got called away. And when I came back, I took a look at this video, and I kind of want to show you guys what happens here. So as you can see on this 10-second chart, there's no volume happening here. We're under 2.5K on most of these candles. The price has gone up quite a bit. It went up 60, 70 cents right there, but we don't have any volume, right? We need a little bit of volume here to justify this decision. And you've got this spread that's about 6 cents. You're going to see as we hit the play button here, I'm going to hit play because this might take a little bit longer than I thought. This new candle, so here's the deal. If I was watching this, right, you've got this rises up, this thing, we got this red candle. Now we're looking for if there was volume. We're looking for first candle make a new high. This one didn't do it. This one didn't do it. This one didn't do it. This one did it, but I don't think I would have entered there because the volume just wasn't that high. Then technically this next one right here is also doing it, right? So you're at 450, but again, the volume is just not there. But if you were watching this, watch and see what happens. At some point in this candle, this current candle we're looking at right now, you're going to see the tape start to move. By the way, this is called the tape. And anything that comes through here is the print. It's printing on the tape. And you'll also see the bid start to get a little tighter, and you're going to see a situation where I think it's like this right here ends up being the top price. So like for NASDAQ, 13 shares up here. Then you're going to start to see the ask size kind of increase. And so you're going to see some sellers on the ask ready to sell you some shares. So this is kind of what I would be looking for here as I go to play this. And we'll just kind of go through it. I know it'll be a little bit of a process here. Let me jump 30 seconds. Yeah. Go back 10. Okay. So yeah, right here, you see that it's got tight. 59, 69. You're seeing the tape start to move in just a second. See it starting to move? And then watch this. Tape starting to move. The spread. Now the price is starting to increase. And now we're going to get a little pop. And when the bid and the ask start to come together, or that bid starts to come up to meet that ask, that we're anticipating a little bit of a pop here. So we have that combination with a little bit of size on the ask, a little bit of size on the bid, and then we also have movement in the tape is where we can kind of anticipate. And now we actually have a little volume. We have this volume that came up right here, right? And now we have kind of a nice little pullback if you were waiting for a pullback here. And I believe it actually shoots over this. So if you were waiting for a pullback, you could totally wait for one right here. You get your little pullback here to 480, and you anticipate the breakthrough 5, and I think it does break through 5 here somewhere. Let's take a look. Yeah, it goes through 5. Right now, this is okay. I think this is going to be important for showing you guys the difference between the trade, this trade, and which is the one I wanted to make. I still don't know if there's quite enough volume. There's good volume on this candle right here that's happening right now for sure. But look here, look on the ask. See how these are all in the hundreds? So it used to be that thinkorswim, you had to add. I think this is how it used to be. You have to add 2 zeros to that. That's not how it is anymore. That's actually how many are there. So see how it says 107? There's actually 107 there available. And so see how these are all in the hundreds, right? And the stock's kind of climbing up, right? You're going to see a big difference between what you see there and the stock that I traded later, and we're going to talk about that. So this isn't 10,000 right here. This is 107. It's not 10,000. We're not adding 2 zeros. Anyway, so the stock rips up and we miss it and it comes back down. But I wanted to show you kind of what it looks like when a stock, it doesn't have the volume, and then it starts to kind of consolidate a little bit. The bid and the ask and the ask and the bid, the spread starts to tighten. You start to see a little bit more share size on the ask, and the tape starts to move. You can kind of anticipate that something's about to break. And that would have been my play today. That was the move I felt I missed today that I wish I could have back. But this whole thing is about shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? And then let's take a look. I think I have stack was 1, 2. I didn't really trade that though. SPRC. There was one other one in here. Did I catch it? Yeah. This is where I think people were getting into ATPC where I did not get in, and I kind of watched it. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is unfortunate. We get the alert. I think I switch over to it right here. And I don't know if I switched over in my TOS, but I definitely put it in the chart. Yeah, here it is in the chart. And here we're watching this, right? And I'm like, okay, well, now it's too high. I look a little bit. I'm looking at what I see here. Recent reverse split-ish. Recent reverse split. It's gapping up. And I'm thinking maybe we could do something, but the price is too high. And there's no news. There's no news. So we got this candle shooting up right here. I mean, and this is another good example. Let me pause this. Look at this. Look at this. 40,000 on the ask right here. So this is going to end up being one of those scenarios. This is I haven't really watched this stock much, but I already know what this is going to be. This is going to be one of those scenarios where you got someone throwing that up there and going to be pulling it away. They're trying to scare you from going into this stock. And traders are starting to figure this out and giving them the middle finger and starting to buy through this, and these stocks are starting to run up. So it's not happening all the time. But if you have enough traders with enough volume on the stock all doing it at the same time, we're starting to see some breakthroughs. And but again, even on this stock, you'll see a difference between this one, which I probably should have traded, compared to the one I decided to trade in just ask size alone. Let's take this one out, the spoof one out, or whatever you want to call that. But you can just look. The bid size and the ask size are in the hundreds. It's sure this one's 2,000, but like it doesn't get crazy. We're not talking 10,000. We got the little spoofer here, but whatever. We're gonna hit this in here, And we're going to see if this, I haven't looked at this. We're going to see if, so you can see up in the 10-second chart, you get this nice little pullback. So that's this topping tail right here. And then this next candle forms. So technically, if you were waiting for a red candle pullback, maybe you'd hope that this candle would turn red. But if you just were waiting for any kind of pullback, then really anything over this at this point would be your entry point. Because you could enter right here. If this next candle was to go over this pink line, you could enter. Let's just take a look. I haven't really watched the stock. We'll see what it does. I don't know if it goes any higher than this. We might be watching this for no reason. But let's just see what happens. You got this, yeah, big size. Yep. And the big size disappeared, right? So right here, you're going to see this start. This is going to start to move up, that big old 30,000, and it's going to get pulled. Right here, it's up here. That's not getting bought up. That's going to get pulled. You're going to see it disappear as the stock. You're not going to see it start to reduce. It reduces a little, but not much. It's going to get pulled right here at 30,000, 25,000. Maybe it got bought through, actually. It did. I mean, it could have got bought through because you see there's a 5,000 here. I don't really know. I don't think it got bought through. I think it got pulled. Anyway, so here you get there. There you pop in right there, right? So you'd get in right here for this breakthrough, whatever number that is, and you'd go. But me, I'm waiting for the 1 minute red candle pullback. Where are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? I don't actually know. Let's take a look. Here we go. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, I'm thinking about, do I need to get away from 1 minute red candle pullbacks? And if I see this pullback, which resembles this on the 10-second chart, then do I set, do I try to get in for the break of that even on a green candle, right? This thing looks like it's going to take a little bit of a dive here, so I don't know if this is really going to matter, but is this as high as it gets? This might be the end of it. Let's just skip ahead real quick so I can get to the actual stock I traded. I went away from it. So anyway, a little something there you can see, but let's go into the trade that I made and what I was kind of thinking here. Okay, cool. We'll watch this for this only like 5 minutes. Bear with me. RBNE. Let's see when we get in this. We pull it up right here. Let's take a look. So give me just like 5 minutes for anyone else to hang around and see like kind of what's going on here. Pull it up. Looking at a couple different things. Here's where we pull it up. So, all right. So right here, was there volume? There was a little bit of volume, but not much. We've got this up here, and then we're already in the next candle by 8 seconds. It's turning a little red. I'm going to show you where I thought I should have got in this at $2. Now, right now, you can see mostly on the ask, it's in the hundreds, and same with the bid. You're going to see that change. And it's already 2,600 up there. It's already higher than anything we saw in the other two stocks. And honestly, this is kind of what I see in lower price stocks under a couple bucks a lot of the times. But I'm not really that. There's 7,000 right there, right? Like should we be taking this? Should we even be entertaining this at 7,000 up there? Right? I don't know. Like if you were on Lightspeed, that would read as 70. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't even be thinking about going in there. Right? Wouldn't that be reading as 70? Yeah, 7 is 700. 70 would be 7,000, right? Yeah. So, like, is that right? I don't know. Anyway, 7,000 shares. I don't know. So you can see, and then there's 5,500. So at this point, like, I should have maybe not even entered in. That's the point I'm trying to make, is like, but my brain was not registering this. I was thinking like, oh yeah, 15,000, 4,000, 12,000, no big deal. We'll burn through that. I don't know what I was thinking there. But we'll go through this. So right here, we're going to see this little pullback. Right? Yeah, right here, I think, is where it happens. Is this where it hits the 2 minute mark? Yeah, right here, we get a little pullback here on this candle. It's going to hit $2 and kind of come back. It's got like 20 some seconds left. Let's see. Where does it happen? I think it's right in here. We'll get to it. You can see I'm looking at the price. And is it on the next candle? I'm seeing this up here. I know we're after here, right? But I'm still looking for that 1 minute candle to make a new high, folks. So right here, I think, is what I saw. $2, 8,600. And I think it's about to rip through that and go right through 2, or did it already happen? Okay, it already happened. Yeah. So let's go back over that. So right here, you're going to see, I'm going to pause it when it shows right here. So right here, is that it? Where did I see it? Right here. So at $199 in this range and at $2, we have this big number, 1,200, 700, 8,600, and you're going to start to see this start to disappear. Is that where it was? Or was it on this little pullback? It might have been here. It might have been here. Let's take a look. I might be wrong, folks. I'm trying to remember where this was. Oh, it's right here. Right here. Yeah, so right here, you got this red candle pullback right here. Now, the candle hasn't closed.
MSS.
But it's definitely pulled back. It pulled back here. It's pulling back here. Now we have 12,000 on the ask shares. Like, I don't think we should have been in this. But in this moment, you're going to see, if you stare right here, you're going to see all these shares get taken away. This is not like a spoof. This is actually purchases that are happening. You're going to see this go away. And as soon as they all get bought up, it bursts through too. This is where I thought I should have got in. Right here, 11,000. Let's see. Come on, you better do it. 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, 5,000, then it just boom, 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 right? So you start to see that start to happen. People start buying that stuff up. And I thought about getting in right there for that little pop. And it would have been a nice little pop. And I could have got out for a little profit or held, if depending on my stop loss, for a little bit. Now we'll finish this through as we move through this. I'm still watching. Haven't entered in yet. I think I will skip ahead a little bit here to where I see the first, this is the first red candle. And at this point, I'm looking for a candle to make a new high. And so if this one crosses over, I'm thinking about maybe going in. I think it was like 214, 215 or something like that. And, right here you can see it's not too bad. We've got pretty decent little size, one in the hundreds for the size on the asks. But you'll start seeing these pop up, 2,200 and 3,000. And it gets higher. It gets a lot higher, actually. And this candle, I think, let me skip ahead. This one doesn't actually do it. Right. So then I think it's this one. Yeah. Yep. And so this one opens. This next one kind of opens right here. And I'm like, okay, if it goes over this number, I'm in. And right here is not bad. These aren't huge size right here. So, I think it's once I got in is when I started to see it. So it pops open. As soon as it reaches over this line, I enter in. Bam. I got in at 214. I liked the entry. Now, as you can see, I had a chance to get a profit of 88 cents. I think that's about the max it went for me. And it just rejects right back down. But I'd set that stop for somewhere in this range, like 205 in this range right here. And we're watching it happen. Now you start to see 2,100, 3,000 there, 2,500, 2,400. And I'm just waiting to see if this thing will pop back over. And 26,000. I don't know. I think we should have probably got out when I had the chance to get out for a much less loss. But I'm happy I got out when I got out. So it's still going. So the question here at this point is, I can count. So many times I've gotten into a stock, not respect my stop loss, meaning in the other way. So I don't let it hit my stop loss. I take profit, or I pull out a little bit earlier than that stop loss, and then it hits the bottom of that stop, which is why a lot of times you want your stop loss to be the bottom of the previous candle, because that provides a level of support. Makes sense. Sometimes that might be too much for you. Maybe you don't want to take 20 cents of risk. So then you have to set a mental stop in your head, which is totally fine. I do that a lot. But here I'm I want to let that support kind of reign through. So there's been plenty of times where I'll take profit early, or I'll get out early, and then it hits that stop, bounces up, and takes off. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go through that again, right? I want to just ride this out. But I also have this issue where I think there's a lot of this size happening. Like right now we're okay here. No, there's nothing in the thousands here, right? So we're just kind of riding this out. We're waiting. We're still waiting here to see if we can catch a little bit of a profit. You start to see a little bit more size come in. 4,000, 4,500. I'm still waiting here. And all I'm doing here, folks, is respecting my stop loss, which I had set at 205. There was a moment where it dipped a little bit below that, but it bounced right away, and I noticed it in the tape. So, I stayed in it. Here we're hanging out. We're hoping that we're still going to be able to get up to this 220 mark. Again, 2,300. 2,300 is not too bad, but we're going to keep moving through this. We're down $80. We could have easily got out right here. I think there's one more pump. Oh, no, yeah, this is where it breaks. Is this where it breaks? No, that's where it hits the 204 and comes back up. Hit 204. I was about to cue it. It comes back up. Where does it go? Let's see here. Right up here. 215, right? We got 215 on the ask. We only have 213 on the bid, so I can't take a profit here yet, right? So I'm going to get out on the bid. I'm not going to get out on the ask. I probably could have got on the ask here for a profit because we would have exited into strength. But you can see the size kind of creeping in here, right? It rejects, comes down. Multiple times it get out with like a decent loss, for lack of a better term. And I still hold. And there we go. Right here. 11,000. And at this point I could get out for a $23 loss. And I think I should have got out right here when this showed 11,000. Because by far, this is the highest amount we've seen up to this point, at least that I've seen up to this point. And we bought through most of the stuff, but I don't think we're at a point now where we're going to break through 11,000 shares here. And maybe we do. We didn't. And it starts to pull back. And then we see 5,000 and 7,000 all, total here. And then a whole crap ton right here, right? And this tells you like what you have going on here, but that I don't have this one showing, so disregard what I just said. But I could see it on the tape. We should have got out right there for a much better loss. But I held here again, hoping. No, I wasn't really hoping. I was anticipating that it would bounce off the stop again, potentially, or at this point I'm also looking at the VWAP and the 9 EMA. I'm like 203 and 206. So if we get underneath 203, around that range, it could bounce off that, or we need to get out. And you can still see all the size, 10,000. It's rough. Now this video is going a little bit long, but if you've hung around, maybe you've learned something, because you're going to see kind of this candle start to drop down here, and I exit. Here, it comes up again. Could have been a $30 loss. We were close. I really thought this thing was going to make a move, but for some reason, I was not thinking that these were large sizes. They are. To over 10K is big. So, I don't know. Let's see here, we got 4 seconds left on this candle, and I think this might be the one. You see me checking. I'm checking my support levels. I was like, where do I want to be here? And where are we at? Right here is where I think it starts to break. 207, right? Let's see. Yep, right here. 205. Maybe not this one. 208. We're still in it. Wow, it's going a little longer than I thought. Thanks for hanging around. But again, you can see 5,600 right here. I don't know, man. I think we should already be out, to be honest with you. I think I should have got out candles ago. Volume profile starting to come down. We're still over the MACD. There's still some positive things going on here. Here, right there, I think we hit a profit, actually. I think I saw it blink green for like $1 or something like that. Goes up, touches it. See, it just kept touching it and touching it and touching it. And my thought was like, man, I feel like this thing could break. And what does it do here? So there's 6,900 right there. So if you guys see this bigger size like that, I think it's just best to exit, especially over like 10K. I think I should have got out. But I like my entry. And my exit here I think is going to be okay. Yeah, right here is where it's going to dive down. 208. It's holding. And then is it this one? Right here, I could have got $63. This is going a little bit long. I should have sped this up. Let me scoot this over. Okay, here we go. Go back a little bit. There we go. So it's this candle. right there, you see, you couldn't see it but this was at 13,000. I think it's like ends up being at 20,000. Here we go. We drop right here. This is where you can see the tape. Everyone is selling right here. And I think this is about when I initiated my sell order as well. You can see because see this hotkey setup right here? That's me pressing the hotkey. And so I get out right around in this zone. Let's see. Yep. It kind of blinked up right there. I don't know what it was. I don't remember what my exit was here, but I can't scroll over there to see it. But I got out right around just underneath my stop. And it broke the support that I had kind of drawn out. It then broke the 9 EMA. It broke the VWAP. It just basically said, poo on you. And, that's how it happens. Let's see if I can see when I got out of this, but just on the chart. See if I can. I know there's a way you can take this chart and expand it. I'm trying to find that button without having to ruin all the stuff I've set up. Where is that? Here's the chart. Maybe it's not on here. Maximize cell. Not that one. Can I restore the cell? Huh. Anyway, I guess I don't know how to do this. That's fine. Anyway, that's how that whole thing went down. I'll get a little bit better at this part of it. I don't want to ruin all the stuff that I have set up going on for this thing right now, but that's how it went down. We've got a long video here, 47 minutes. If you hung around, well, God bless you. But that's the trade I made today. Again, happy with the entry. I just didn't recognize the large size that was happening. And when I exited, I think there was something close to almost 30,000. It's like you start seeing 15,000, 10,000. I think that might be too high, especially compared to some of the other stuff I looked at. And I'm wondering, if anyone watching and hung around this long, if you could provide me some feedback there. Other than that, I still felt like I picked a decent stock and got in at an okay time, but man, it's rough out there. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay green out there. I will be back at it tomorrow. We've got a win rate of 70%. So my hope is that as long as we keep respecting those stop losses, I would have liked to have lost a little bit less, but then we can come out of that. And if I make 10 trades and 3 of them are $100 losers, you're right, and 7 of them are $150 to $200 winners, we're going somewhere. Anyway, you guys have a great day. We'll catch you later. Peace.